I feel delighted to welcome and introduce our next guest, Mr. Anton Vezjack. He is the co-founder and director of Bhakti Vedanta Institute Slovenia, branch of the Bhakti Vedanta Institute International, the academic wing of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness ISKCON, founded by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. He has received PhD from Mechanical Engineering at University of Ljubljana. In 2003, at the end of his graduate study, he came in contact with the Vedic knowledge presented in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Purana. His interest in the Vedic sciences for consciousness, yoga and metaphysics increased, and he shifted his research focus and dedication to the Vedic wisdom and practice, especially the tradition of Bhakti Yoga. His main focus and interest is in value-based education, research and application of spiritual technologies, holistic personal growth and well-being models, building sustainable communities and leadership for higher consciousness. As member of Latin America chapter of ISACA, participated in the training and implementation of the COVID standards and the BSI standards for security and risk reductions in computer architecture as member of Global Association of Risk Professionals. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Anton Vezjack.
Namaste, Hare Krishna, ladies and gentlemen, and all honorable participants. First, let me express my gratitude to be part of this very important event, International Yoga Week, organized by United Consciousness. And also, I'm honored to be with all of you, audience, and I'm very grateful for that. So I was given a topic about, from yoga philosophy, topic of dealing with Raga and Dvesa. Before we start, just a little, we're taking shelter of our previous acharyas, previous teachers who they so gracefully give us this knowledge. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmritamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Paraya Krishna Vishnu Bhutare Shrimate Radhanath Swami Te Namine Namo Om Vishnu Paraya Krishna Vishnu Bhutare Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Te Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachari Nirvishesha Shunavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vanchakalpatru Visha Kripasinto Eva Chaptanam Bhavani Bhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the topic of Raga and Dvesa fits into the well-known concept of yoga philosophy. This is Pancha Klesha, mentioned many parts of the scriptures, especially in Yoga Sutra. This is 5 Klesha, 5 causes of suffering, or 5 types of suffering, which are avidya, ignorance, which covers the spirit soul. Then next is asmita, is covering with ahankara, false ego, which brings following 2 sufferings. One is attachment, raga, and second is hatred or envy. And last, fifth klesha and suffering, cause of suffering, is abhinivesha, which is when the soul is absorbed into this body. Fear arises, the fear of death and other fears which are there. So, as we mentioned in the beginning, dealing with raga and dvesha. So these 2 causes of suffering, of course, are generated by when the spirit soul identifies with this body, this gross and subtle body. And according to our conditioning, according to the yoga philosophy, you are conditioned with 3 modes of material nature, Rajaguna, tamaguna and sattvaguna, and conditioned by our previous activities, karmic law. Conditioned soul has particular attachment to sense objects, which comes into contact with his senses, with the spiritual soul senses, material senses. So they are attached to particular objects, and of course they are also awares to the items or means which obstruct this happiness which comes from contact with the senses. And this attachment to the material happiness with the material objects and aversion is, according to the yogi philosophy, is an obstacle. Is an obstacle for aspiring yogi to achieve the goal, to achieve, every spirit, soul, or everyone, every living being, every living entity is driven by a desire for happiness. Of course, not material happiness as maybe we are accustomed in material world in this age, but spiritual happiness, Brahma Saukyam, which is it's not temporary, it is lasting and is fulfilling. So this goal of the yogi, cherished goal of the yogi, is abstracted with these two situation of attachment to material happiness and aversion to those things who are obstructing this material happiness. So this duality makes us restless, make us ashantasya, means not peaceful, and where there is no peace, there is no happiness. That's short. So Vedic literature also gives a very nice example, which I come across, that these two, Raga and Dvesa, are just like a thieves which appears on the road and attack the traveler on the road, on the journey. And similar for the yogi, these two, attachment and aversion, are also like a thieves which steals away a yogi's attention from the goal. So Bhagavad Gita, which is well known, the most known, esteemed Vedic literature, where Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna. He mentions this concept quite a lot, deals with the Raga Dvesa, when he describes the perfect self-realized yogis and the characteristic of that self-realized yogis. And he mentioned that how yogi function in this world, how he deals with the sense objects and with his senses, how he interacts senses and the sense objects. And very famous shloka in second chapter which describes this. Raga Dvesha vimukhtaistu indriyascharan atma vishayar vishdeyatma prasaram adhikachati. So Krishna here defines the self-realized yogis, that who has not attached to this attachment and aversion of to material sense gratification, but yogi strives to control the senses towards the sense objects, and so his activities are not guided by the pleasures of this interaction, but guided by the scripture, by the Bhagavad Gita, by the Upanishads, by the Puranas, by Krishna, which is the author and goal of all Vedic scriptures. So for the yogis, it's recommended that regulates his sense activities, and that doesn't just respond to the impulse of interaction between the sense objects and the senses, but his acts are guided by the Shastra, or Guru Saru Shastra. It's oriented, so it's regulated sense interaction to maintain. It is called. It is said that it's such a level that it maintains what is necessary so this body can function to perform yoga towards the esteemed goal. So regulates the senses how Shastra orders. And usually this goes from fulfilling our duties, which are described in the Vedas, right? We have many levels of duties or level of dharma. Of the most basic is, to act according to our ashram life stage, students, brahmachari, or family life, or vanaprastha, or sannyas, or according to our occupational duties, karmic configuration, which is brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, and shudra. And of course, this is the first level of beginning level of dharma, and towards, of course, upper level, which is described in Bhagavad Gita, which Krishna concludes in the 18th chapter, where he explains that Sarva Dharmam Parityajat Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, that all other dharmas are useful, but the most topmost is dharma is surrendered to him, to Supreme Bhagavan, Supreme Krishna. And that is Bhagavad Dharma, and the activities Bhagavad Dharma are most cherished, desirable according to the Bhagavad Gita. So yogis, aspiring yogi, according to Bhakti tradition, is that engage his senses, not according to the how they are pleasurable, but how are pleasing to the Lord. So yogis, bhakti yogis, or yogis in general, they engage their senses to please the Lord. And how is please comes from the Shastra and forth from the cyclic succession. So the pleasing the Lord is the highest dharma described in the Vedas. So according to the ages, according to this pleasing the Lord is also have variety, and we know we have four yugas: Satya, golden, Tritya, silver, then Dvapara, bronze, and Kali, iron age. And for each age there is prescribed or recommended dharmic activity for us, for our senses. And for this age, Harinama eva kevalam, kalaunastyava, natir. So for this age, the Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya is recommended. Congregational chanting of the holy names together. This is the most simple and the most sublime and the most efficient for this age. Chanting congregationally and glorifying the Lord's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Stated in Bhavishya Purana and the Kaleshandana Upanishad, that for this age, this is the most efficient engagement for the yogis and all the activities, and has the most powerful and sublime effect. Of course, in this effect is what? That our mind is purified, our heart is purified, and our mind is purified, then our mind is peaceful, and that peace enables us that our intelligence can be focused on the goal, which is reestablish yuktasya, to reestablish our original position, which is we are parcel of the Bhagavan. We are Jiva Shakti, and our constitutional position is to serve the supreme source, supreme Bhagavan, Lord Shri Krishna. And when intelligence is fixed, then our mind is peaceful, and when we're peaceful, then we can experience the happiness. Without peace, there is no happiness. So this was a short, brief overview of how we deal with attachment, raga, and aversion, dvesa, which is presented within yoga philosophy as pancha kleshas. Thank you very much for your attention. Hopefully it makes some sense. And thank you once again for the organizers for giving us this opportunity. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anton. It was a very important topic you elaborated upon, and I think who better than a disciple of Lord Krishna himself and from ISKCON can speak better about Raga and Dvesa and the importance of removing this from life. I absolutely admire the way you said that they are the thieves on the road of sadhana and they steal our attention, and the importance of guru and shastra, that is most important. And then you mentioned about chanting the mantra of Lord Krishna consciousness. It really puts us on the track on our sadhana and enable us to see beyond raga and dvesha. Thank you very much, Dr. Antonji. We are blessed to have you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vikrant Singh and all other participants for this amazing organization, and hopefully to continue with this very, very important work for humanity. Thank you very much.
So kind of you. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.